Orlando, we do know that when laws and school discipline in schools are enacted with heavy penalties, disproportionately Latino and African American students face the brunt of these reforms. Often, and this is documented especially within our state, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the ACLU, Color of Change have done a number of studies into this. We do know that discretion is often used with white students who commit the same type of incidents, maybe getting in a schoolyard fight, and when it comes to a student of color, disproportionately they are often cycled to jails. So I know that there's been a vigorous debate and improving of the bias-free policing, and I know the Orlando Police are committed to carrying out bias-free practices, but I think this is important to keep in mind when these type of laws are passed, that there is that nuance so that we don't end up like what happens in Polk County where they're arresting 5-year-olds, right? That's not the type of black eye we want in the city and certainly the county. I know no one here is advocating that, but just something to keep in mind. So I wanted to speak in support of Commissioner Hill's comments. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else would like to testify? Okay, you'll need to let's see, you had your hand up first. I know that some of you are new to City Council, but generally you need to fill out a appearance request card, but you can fill it out after you testify. So state your name and your address, and you have 5 minutes to address council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Esteban Garces. I'm the state director of Mi Familia Vota. My home address, I'm here in my personal capacity. It's not an issue that we approach in our organization. I'm at 2415 Jamie Circle, Orlando, Florida. I just wanted to mention, and I've heard this, and I respect the process that are set up for legislators to be able to legislate. But at the same time, there comes a point where you have to ask yourself, to what end, right? We can keep following the rules, the processes, the bureaucracy that's set up for us to be able to legislate effectively, but $5,000 fine and maybe some days in jail, lives being saved, message being sent. Some of these things aren't easy. Australia, look, and being removed from office. I mean, kids are being removed from their lives. Australia passed legislation to restrict gun control. And I throw that out there because obviously it was a bigger movement that happened out there, but every one of those legislators lost their office. They're not legislating anymore. But do they regret the moves that they made to be able to pass what they did? Absolutely not, because it saved lives. So yes, maybe there is preemption that's in place, and it's a hurdle to getting progress done. But sometimes there are hurdles in your way that you have to buck at those hurdles and say, yeah, that's in my way, but I'm going to do it anyways, and I'm going to take the consequences, and I'll take them face on. I bet if one of you took on that, or if this body passed some legislation, voted that way, and you had to raise $5,000 to get yourself out of jail, or whatever the case is, this is Orlando. That money would be raised in a heartbeat. But the courage that would show on behalf of the citizens that live here, the leadership that you'd be showing them, this is the progressive beacon of the South, and I've heard that before, but sometimes you got to take these chances and take a stand, and it's not easy, but a lot of people look to you. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my thinking is that this with gun control has to go a little deeper, because it not only does it start at the home, but if you look at what kids do today, is they're always behind video games, all these shoot-up games and stuff. If people look at that, and if people play a game for so long, it gets stuck in their head. So if that's stuck in your head, then you think it's part of reality. And that's where it all starts. And that's where mental health needs to look at.
Okay, thank you. All right, anybody that testified, would you please make sure you fill out an appearance request card. All right, discussion among commissioners. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So the motion carries by more than a 2/3 vote, a unanimous vote. That concludes the